Well, hello, welcome back to Furious Driving, and although I'm sitting in the Volvo, I'm not working on it today. I'm just moving it ever so slightly backwards so I can get into the garage and do some stuff on the V8, because today we're going to do a little bit more progress on the V8. But first of all, let's explain what's happened to the convertible, because Quentin's not in the drive at the moment. He's gone away somewhere. Yes, I am aware it's raining right now. In the footwell, I've got a few bits and pieces to go with all the stuff in the back. I've got these bits of rubber that came off one of the hoods, I forget which one. I've got these metal brackets which had rotted off the old hood, and the new hood as well. One's brand new, one's refurb, and also this bit of trim which a viewer very kindly sent in that they bought for their convertible restoration but hadn't used. So I don't know if I'll need that or not, but hopefully, well, one way or another, it's there. This fortunately is wedged so tight that once the windows are up, so that fortunately can't fly away. Well, we are on the road in Quentin at last, finally on the way to go and get his hood fitted. Going to utterly transform this car, going to make it really nice, I think. But thank goodness the rain has finally stopped. I mean, it was absolutely hammering down for a bit as I was getting ready to leave, and I really thought I was going to like a proper drowned rat by the time I arrived. But no, it's a lot better now. The car is running fantastically now. Everything seems to be okay. I'm touching wood because, you know, you never know. That's just kind of cursed it. Did have a bit of an issue yesterday. I took it for a shakedown run when naturally it poured with rain, but more sort of worse to the point, I guess you might put it. I noticed it smelled really strong of petrol. I couldn't work out why. Well, I had a fairly good idea why. And I had a look in the back because I hadn't put the cover plate back over the fuel thingy pump because I was suspecting there might be an issue. And there was petrol gushing out the return line. I assumed I'd made a mistake with the hose clamp. But on closer inspection, it turned out I had actually got a hole in the fuel line. It had been on and off so many times that the rubber hose had got a little pinhole in it. So I had to cut like 2 centimetres off that. And fingers crossed it's okay. I'm watching the fuel gauge like a hawk, and it's barely moved, which is either a very good thing or a very bad thing. We'll find out shortly. So we are on our way over to Sevenoaks, where there's a car hood trimming place, so we're going to put a new roof on this car so it will actually become a pleasant place to be on days like this. Mrs. Furious is following up to give me a lift home. This will be the last time we see this car for a couple of weeks. As far as running goes on this thing now, it's actually really good. It's lovely and smooth. I don't know what you can hear over the roar of the motorway, but the car is nice and stable. It doesn't wobble and wander. The suspension's okay, it's a bit soft, but I think it's meant to be. The engine is lovely and smooth, and the gearbox is one of the best R8 gearboxes I've used actually. It's really good. So this is the spot where Quentin should be, and he's gone for a couple of weeks anyway. And this is the freshly washed Alfa Romeo. Cleaned it yesterday, and look, that damn cat has gone up the bonnet again. And seriously, only Alfa can make a bolt so inaccessible for just simply tightening up your battery terminal. You have to find exactly the right socket on exactly the right extension bar, then wheedle it in at exactly the right angle, and then you can tighten up your battery terminal. Nearly. But before I close the door on the Volvo, when I was on the Rimmer Brothers shop, they had these original deep pile, lovely, super luxury, genuine Rover mats for 12 quid. I really couldn't say no. So Quentin is now over at the car trimmer's place, waiting to get his hood fitted in the next few days, probably about 2 weeks he reckons he'll fit it in around other jobs. There is one tiny fly in the ointment. When I took the car over to be checked over last time, he wanted to make sure I had those black bits of metal which I showed you in the footwell of the car. One was brand new, one was second hand, but also there's a little tiny bent little elbow, I suppose. It's about that long, metal bar with thread in the end and 2 threaded nuts, that kind of thing. The last time I saw it was when I took the car over to be getting a quote, and I put it somewhere safe, and when I dropped it back last time the guy said, "You have got that bar, haven't you?" I said, "Yes, it's here in the glove box," and it wasn't there. I'm hoping it's somewhere else in the car because I've turned the house inside out and I can't find it. Otherwise I've got to go and buy another one. I'm sure it's around. I'm sure it'll turn up. Probably. Right, back to this one, the car with no name. The V8. Right, last time I was struggling a bit because everything was going wrong. Nothing would line up, nothing made any sense, and I couldn't figure anything out at all. It's good progress. A lot of people have sent some very handy bits of information across which have been able to make things happen, and a couple of helpful hints as well. So let's talk through what's happened over the last couple of weeks. Jason, here is the T-shelf on the engine. First of all, easy victory, the alternator. I could not work out why it wasn't going on and what I was missing. It was this bracket here. I've actually bought another one of these, but I just found this as I started filming. So even though I've got one in the post, I've used the old one anyway, which I haven't actually painted yet. I do need to find a better bolt because that one underneath there, I can't find one that's the right length, so that's just sitting in there loosely. This one though is tight, and these two are tight, so the alternator is now in the right place and doing its own thing. The, what do we want to call it? The power steering pump. This is possibly the heaviest item I've ever lifted in my life. A couple of people did give me a bit of advice. This thing actually sits back to front. So if you follow the pulley wheelway from there, back through there to that rear pulley on the crankshaft, that is the power steering beltway. However, I cannot for the life of me figure out the belt run. I've actually taken this entire bracket back off again, trying to work out how on earth this belt run works, because it just doesn't seem to work without fouling. I'm not worried about the power steering working initially. That I may actually just leave off for the time being and come back to that later on, because that is kind of in the way. Oh man, that is heavy. This is the tie bar, which a couple of people have said the stabiliser needs to be there. Yeah, that was also in the box on the floor over there. I'd actually use this bolt hole here, which is going to be where the stabiliser bar goes through, to attach the coil. The coil, from memory, I think clicks in underneath here, which is a really odd place for it to, it doesn't look very factory, but that's how it was before. So I'll put it back there. And the big victory, the big victory of all is, well, first of all, the dipstick. The dipstick does in fact go to this hole here behind the little plinth with the engine number is stamped. I was searching high and low. I was trying to buy one, but they're quite expensive. Did you know Rover V8 dipsticks are 25 quid second hand? That's nuts. But I actually managed to find it here in the side of the old engine block, the old 3.5 litre. Well, I found the missing dipstick. Just need to get it out from this block where it's lying on it. So it's mildly bent. I must have forgotten to take it out of the old block and then just rolled the block onto it, because it's a little bit flat, but hopefully that'll straighten out enough that I can free the thing. At least it's all oily. I guess that's good. So I've just been trying to straighten this thing out in the vice a wee bit. It's got a little bit of a curve in it, I think, from being kind of wrestled out of the old engine block and also having the engine block resting on it. So just putting a little bit of pressure in there, just straightening it out a little bit, very gently, not to flatten it here in the vise. And also putting a screwdriver up through this little kink and straightening that out as well. Again, holding it tight in the vise and just gently working it to straighten it out some more. Now someone, I think it was Donnie, suggested using the scissor jack to put in between the two centre prongs, if you like. And I tried that, but it wasn't really working. It was working a tiny bit, and then he suggested heating it with a blowtorch. I don't think a blowtorch would get hot enough, but over about a week, really, of heating it, letting it cool, letting it relax, stretching it, reheating it, it eventually did it, and now it's on there. I am missing 2 bolts, though, 2 of these lovely, shiny, brand new ARP manifold bolts, studs, things, have vanished on the floor somewhere. I'm hoping when I jack the car up in a minute, they will turn up. And the other thing which is broken was this vacuum line, which is not going to be a big fix, but got one off eBay, £2, so that was a happy find. Now the thing which did, I don't know, I must have recycled it, is the pulley drive wheel which sits on the water pump just here in order to connect up to the alternator, just there. I can only assume I've recycled it someplace because I do not have it anywhere else. I've had to buy another one and I'm waiting for it in the post so then I can put that little drive belt on there and the alternator will be connected. And I do need to go and order that little bit of pipe that goes from there to there. And from memory, this big elbow exit here goes off to the radiator just there. Radiator's in the lockup with the 2000, and this pipe here goes down to that side of the radiator. So we're kind of there. Right, just quickly go and put this vacuum line on, then do something more impressive. Right, that can go in the bin. By in the bin, I do of course mean on the floor. Now this is actually a mini kit, which is probably why it's so cheap, because everything from minis is nice and cheap and everything from V8s is really expensive. So I say £2 for this. It also means it's slightly over length, so I could do with just cutting that down a wee bit actually. Cool. Now I've been hunting for screws and things for the last, I don't know, half an hour. So trying to find a screw to put this thing in here. That took literally forever. Just finding a screw that was the right size. That's all done there. And then for the plate down here, I'm just going to throw it up. You can buy these as a kit. Now one more thing is this little cover down here. I've left off the power steering pump. I put it on and took it off again because I didn't have this cover put on it. I made this one here, but I've not got a gasket for it. I don't mind go and buy one from someone like MGBD Mark Gray. They're doing for about a tenner, including the gasket. Now next up is this stainless steel. It doesn't look stainless steel, but it's been run under the car, so it's discoloured a bit. A stainless steel downpipe, white pipe I think you call it. So I'm going to slide this under the car and see if I can find any way of mounting it up. I do have this hanger for it, which I did paint previously. If I could just try and remember where it goes, that would be good. Now I have wanted a mechanic's creeper for literally forever, because it's a really nice way to have a nap in the garage when you're meant to be working. But I decided when I was on the internet the other day, I was ordering a few other bits and pieces, and I would get myself one of these things. I really hate working underneath cars. I thought this might make it a bit more appealing, or a bit less horrible at any rate. Right, let's get underneath this car and see what I can do. Also hoping I'll find those two manifold stubs, which must be on the floor underneath the car somewhere, because they can't have vanished into thin air. Right, right. I need about 9 more hands so I can do this and hold the GoPro as well. Where's that money go? This creeper thing does make life a lot easier. Just sort of sliding it out underneath the car. The other thing I'm pretty sure I've done is I've routed the yuck. Need to wipe that clean. I think I've routed the throttle cable incorrectly. It doesn't seem to be pulling in the right direction. And now this thing. Oh dear me. That's all good. There are no hangers on this anywhere, so there's only this thing, but I can't figure out where that bolts onto. Oh, bumsy. Where does that go? This came off the original wire pipe, the old mild steel one. That's in the other lockup. Oh god, I need to go and repaint all this floor. It's all flaking the underseal off. Where the heck does this thing hang on to? Did it go into the gearbox somewhere? Oh, I can't see. Very odd. Okay. I've got to be honest, the creeper was actually a bit of an impulse buy. I went online to buy myself one of these foam mat things to lie on the ground, but I saw it and thought that would be so much comfortable. Well, it is a little bit tall for getting onto the back end of the car when your on the front end's jacked up and the back end isn't. So let's try and get both arms underneath. I can't really get the back of the car off. I can't get both arms underneath this bloody car. This car is not up in the air high enough. I cannot get my tools and my body underneath it. That's the wrong flipping socket. It's 13, I think. These bolts are properly rusted on underneath there. Oh, thank you, lovely impact wrench. Right, let's get this up here. And on there. Oh, god damn it. This is not a one-handed job. But it's turning. Oh, I need an olive. Damn it. Okay, olive located. Damn it. Ow! God damn it. Oh no, don't come back. Okay, that's a good start. Number 2. Okay, it's loose but it's on. Alright, try and get some at the front end as well. Okay. 2 things. I'm not sure why I'm not on the rolling thing that makes it more comfortable and actually easy to move around on. Behind my head right now. Secondly, you need a second person to hold the exhaust up. Oh, come back. Gravity is not on my side. I wish I could turn the car upside down to do this. Right, 1's in. It means I'm halfway there. Oh great, it doesn't quite match up. Oh it does, but I need to use 2 hands. There we go. There we go, excellent. Right, that's the exhaust. Well, it's not fitted, it's just hanging in there. Right, now I can go around with washers and things. Tighten it all up. Fantastic. Well done me. So there we have an exhaust hanging underneath the car, which is good for 2 reasons. First of all, it's one step closer to the car being completed, and secondly, it's one less thing to trip over here in the garage. Right, so it's been a productive week. I haven't got it all on camera, but I've done an awful lot getting things done. The dipstick is done, the manifold is done, the flywheel blank, no. The timing cover blank, no. Mount the power steering, well, we've worked out how it mounts, but well, no, because I can't work out how the belt goes, but it's not important. I might even go for an electric power steering system on this car anyway. Someone did comment last time, why don't I go for a Corsa steering electric doodah? I had been looking at not necessarily Corsa, but an aftermarket kit, but you know, thinking about it. Alternator, yes. Radiator, no, because that's going to get in the way of everything else. Y pipes, done. Fuel line, I could have done that actually. I've actually need a bit of pipe just there. Fan, I'm going to clean that before I put it back on. Advanced pipe, throttle linkage. So we're down to like 4 things now. Okay, next time, I'm not going to promise you, but next time we might start this car. Right. Progress has been made. This old jalopy is nearly running. Quentin is going to get his hood. Are we going to have some running projects for the summertime? Who knows? Let's hope so. Well, thank you for watching, and as always, do hit the like and subscribe button, because subscribing makes a massive difference to YouTube thinking this is a good channel worth punting out to lots of other people so they can watch it as well. So do please hit that button. And if you want to help support the channel, we've got these hats, mugs, everything else for sale. Check the links in the description below. And of course, if you like any of the tools I'm using, then the affiliate links in the description below. If you buy one of them, I get 10p or something. It all helps buy bits for this old pile of junk. So thank you, and I'll see you again next time when maybe we'll make this thing actually start.